Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, we're going to go over the Spring Market Tote Bag crochet pattern. But first, a few notes to start. Throughout the entire pattern, we're going to be holding 2 strands of yarn. This pattern also requires changing colors quite a few times. So if you have no experience changing colors, you are in luck, because at the beginning of this week, I created a quick win video tutorial on how you can seamlessly change your yarn color. The link for that video will be in the description. In the top left-hand corner, you can see all of the supplies you'll need for this project. Go ahead and screenshot it or pause the video to write it on down. Now to get started with this pattern, we're going to be holding 2 strands of yarn. So take your 2 strands and create a slip knot in whichever way you prefer. Insert your hook, and we're going to chain 31. Okay, so we have 31 chains right here. To start, single crochet into the second chain from your hook. Chain 2, and single crochet into the same stitch. Now single crochet into the next 28 stitches. Now that we've reached the last chain, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the same chain, chain 2 again, and single crochet in the same chain again. So that's single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all in that last chain. And now we're going to turn our work to work on the opposite side of the chain and single crochet into the next 28 stitches. Now we've reached the end of round 1, but we're not finished yet. This chain here is my 28th chain, and then this next space is our first chain of the round. We're going to single crochet into that first chain and then chain 2 and slip stitch into that very first single crochet of the round. You should have 62 stitches at the end of round 1. So let's go over this because I know that this round might be a little confusing. So what we first did was we single crocheted into the second chain from our hook. We chained 2 and single crocheted into that same stitch. So that created our corner space. And then we single crocheted into the next 28 stitches. We created 2 more corner spaces by having 3 single crochets and 2 chain 2s, all in that last chain. And then we turned our work to work on the opposite side of the chain, single crocheted another 28 stitches, and then we reached our last stitch, which was actually the first chain of the round. And we placed our last single crochet into this chain. And then of course we chained 2 to create our 4th corner space. Phew, that was a lot, but I promise it will get easier from this point on. So starting round 2, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into that first stitch. Then single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet again into that chain 2 space. Now single crochet into the next 30 stitches. So what we're going to do, this chain 2 space here, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet all into this same space. And make sure you get in between those stitches there. So single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the same space. And then we're going to single crochet into this next stitch here. And then we have another chain 2 space that we're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the same space. And again, we're going to single crochet into the next 30 stitches. Now we've reached the last chain 2 space, and we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into this last space. and slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. And that's it for round 2. You should have 70 single crochet in 4 chain 2 spaces. Now for round 3, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch, then single crochet into the next stitch. And now we have a chain 2 space, so we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet all into that chain 2 space. And then we're going to single crochet into the next space. Now I wanted to show you that this is the chain 2 space. Don't forget about this stitch right here. It's right next to the space and it's really easy to miss. So don't miss that. Now single crochet all across this row until you reach the next chain 2 space. Now that we've reached the next chain 2 space, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into this space. I think you're starting to catch the pattern, right? Now single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Then single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into that next chain 2 space. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 32 stitches. At the end of round 3, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the chain 2 space. Then we're going to single crochet in the last stitch and slip stitch to the beginning single crochet. At the end of round 3, you should have 78 single crochet stitches. Okay, now chain 1, and we're moving on to round 4. So single crochet into the next 3 stitches. Then single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the next chain 2 space. And now we're going to single crochet into the next 34 stitches. Okay, so now that we've reached our next chain 2 space, we're going to chain 2, single crochet, chain 2. Now we're going to single crochet into the next 5 stitches. And then again, we have our chain 2 space, so single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 34 stitches. I apologize that the camera isn't really showing what I'm doing, but it's just the same thing that we've done the past 3 rows. Okay, so now we've reached the end of row 4. We're going to single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into our last chain 2 space. And then we're going to single crochet into the next 2 stitches and slip stitch to our beginning single crochet. By the end of this round, you should have 86 single crochet stitches. Now finally, we're going to break out of that repetitiveness, and for round 5, we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch around. In each of your chain 2 spaces, we're going to have 2 single crochet. Okay, so now we're at the end of round 5, and all we did this round was single crochet in each stitch around with 2 single crochet in each chain 2 space. At the end of this round, you should have 94 single crochet. Okay, so for round 6, we're going to work into the back loop only of each stitch. So working into the back loops only, we're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches. So normally when you're inserting your hook, you're going underneath both of those top loops. To work in the back loop, you're going to insert your hook here into that back loop only. So the loop that's the furthest away from you. Okay, so now we've reached that corner space. Here we're going to single crochet 2 together in the back loops only. So insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the next stitch yarn over and pull up a loop, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. And then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Now continue single crocheting in the back loop for the next 36 stitches. Okay, so now that we've reached the next corner, we're going to single crochet 2 together again in this corner. Now single crochet into the next 7 stitches. And again, we're going to single crochet 2 together into this corner. Now single crochet into the next 36 stitches. Now again, we're going to single crochet 2 together into this last corner. Single crochet into the next 3 stitches. And slip stitch to your first single crochet. Now for rounds 7 through 8, we're just going to single crochet in each stitch around, and this time we're going to be going through both loops as normal. At the end of row 8, we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet and tie off our work. This is the way I've chosen to tie on my new color. If you want to tie yours on a different way, go ahead and do whatever you feel comfortable with. Personally, whenever I'm adding a new color, especially for a bag like this, I like to create another slip knot, just like I'm starting all over again, and then I'll insert my hook into the stitch, grab that slip knot and pull it right through, and then chain 1 and continue single crocheting in each stitch around. So rounds 9 through 11 will be your first accent color, so that's the next 3 rows. And then for rounds 12 to 14, you'll switch back to your main color. Rounds 15 and 17, you'll switch to your second accent color. 18 through 20 will be your main color. And then for rounds 21 through 23, we'll add on our last accent color. And that's where I'll meet you to talk about all these color changes. Now this is what our bag should look like so far. We have 3 rounds of our accent color, 3 rounds of our main color, 3 rounds accent, 3 rounds main, 3 rounds accent. And now that we've reached the end of row 23, we're going to tie on our main color, and this time we're going to have 11 rows of the main color. Then once we've finished all 11 rows of our main color, we're going to repeat the same striping effect. So rounds 35 through 37 is going to be another accent color. And if your colors are similar to mine, then the next accent color will be the first accent color that you used. Rounds 38 through 40 will be your main color. 41 through 43 is your next accent color, and so on. So I will meet you back once we reach row 50. Okay, so I ended up going past row 50 and just went ahead and crocheted rows 50 through 53, and this was still all single crochet, but just in your main color. So now that I've reached row 53, I'm going to tie off my yarn here, and we're going to start on our strap. Now for the strap, we're going to start by creating a really long tail, and then we'll tie our slip knot. So this long tail is going to be used to tie the strap onto our bag later. So after you've created your long tail, go ahead and tie your slip knot, insert your hook, and chain 5. Single crochet into the second chain from your hook and each chain down. For row 2, we're going to chain 1 and turn our work, and single crochet in each stitch across. Now the cool thing about this strap is you can really make it as long as you want. I didn't want my strap to be too long, so I stopped at row 54. So for the pattern's sake, for rows 2 through 54, we're going to chain 1, turn your work and single crochet into each stitch across. If you want to make your strap shorter or longer, just go ahead and continue single crocheting until you reach the desired length. And then I'll meet you back when we're ready to sew it to the back. After you've reached the length that you want for your strap, go ahead and tie off your work, leaving a long tail so that you can use this to sew to your bag. Get out your favorite tapestry needle and bring that bag over so we can get it finished. Go ahead and lay the bag out right in front of you. And when you fold it flat, you can see that because we were joining at the end of every row, our seam is a little slanted. While this is fine and it's really not that noticeable, whenever you're tying on your straps, you want to make sure that you lay your bag flat like this so you know where your true edges are. That way, whenever you're wearing the bag, it doesn't look all funky. To make sure that your strap is even, you can use a stitch marker to mark the middle stitch on each side. And of course, if there's not a stitch that's directly in the center, just go ahead and mark the one that's right next to it. Depending on your preference, you can choose to sew your strap on the inside or the outside of your bag. I chose to sew mine in on the inside. So what I did was that I put my straps so that my stitch marker, in this case a bobby pin, was in the center. So I'm going to remove that bobby pin and sew my strap in all kinds of different directions until I feel like it is secure. Okay, so now that we're done with the first side of the strap, I'm going to leave this tail here instead of cutting it off so that after I tie on my second side, I can try it out and make sure that I like the length that it's at. When you move on to tie the second end of the strap, make sure that your strap isn't twisted. After you've sewed on both sides of the strap, make sure that you like the length of it. If you don't, you can always go back with your crochet hook and untie those ends that you just weaved in. All you have to do is pull on your strap a little bit to see where you last weaved it in, and then insert your hook and pull it out. Then once you've untied your strap, you can undo the knot and either add on some rows or take away some rows. Then go ahead and sew it back on. Alright, and that is it for the Spring Market Tote Bag crochet pattern. I hope that you loved making this pattern, and if you did, give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more patterns, tips, and quick wins.